All right, I finally took the head gasket plunge, coated it up with some copper spray, and put the heads on. I torqued them down to, what was it, 68 and a half foot-pounds instead of 70, just in case my wrench was off. And I also think tighter's better, so I didn't want to go like 60. So I went 68 and a half. I actually tested my torque wrench out. Schrodinger's Box, another YouTube channel, he showed how he tests his torque wrench, and I did the exact same thing, and it was pretty accurate. So I was pretty confident that that worked out. The bolts that I had bought had a thread sealer on them already, but I added just a touch, just to give me that little bit of lubricant kind of feel as it was going down into the threads. And then I put a drop of oil underneath the head of the bolt, so when it hit the head, there would be a nice smooth torque down onto the head rather than, metal to metal friction. Then I threw my rockers in and my push rods. I tightened my bolts right down to the top of the studs, but I did not do any adjustments yet. I did put my finger on the spark plug hole and turn the motor over and got a nice pop of compression, which was kind of like a good feeling. I was like, oh, okay. Well, at least there's some compression. Who knows if it's enough or if it's too much, but at least it'll be some compression. I have this hole here. This is an older engine, and from what I've read, I just got to plug that, and this one can just stay the way it is. I could reinstall the baffle. I guess it's a baffle. Either way, oil, I guess, and gases would come up through here and enter the lifter valley, but I don't think that's a big deal. I guess I could plug that one up, but I'm going to go with the newer style PCV and breather, which will be on the valve covers that actually were on this motor when I got it. I don't know if I'm going to spend the money on fancier looking ones. I'll probably wait till this thing runs real well and make sure it's right before I start spending extra money that I don't need to spend on it. It's supposed to be a budget build, but it costs you just as much to build a little 283 as it does a 350. So, but I like old shit. Like a 50-year-old motor sounds better to me. Yeah, it's coming together. Everything looks fine. I threw the plate on here. Got a little extra Permatex here, but I'll fix that later. And the outer bolts that I had were actually got different colors, so that actually looks pretty cool versus just, black or whatever regular bolt colors they are. The pan's on with the one-piece gasket, and this oil pan I bought because the original one, which I have here, I painted it up, but I realized it wasn't perfectly flat, or at least I don't think it was. And then, some of these bolt holes were puffed out a little bit, and I would have to hammer them down. I figured, shit, man, I'll go with a chrome one, and did that. And that's about it. That's next step. Well, I'll just do the valve adjustments and put the covers on, and put the intake on, and go from there, one step at a time. So that's just an update. I got a quick slayer 600 CFM carb, quick fuel street slayer, and EPS intake for it. I'm probably going to use the same original manifold bolts. I cleaned them up and they look really good. I think I'm going to use a bead of sealer here, and then the gaskets. Instead of using the gaskets on the front and the back, I'm going to use sealer. And I'm a little concerned about which gaskets to use on here. I know I can use one of the two sets that come in the Felpro box, but they're restricted in different manners, and I'm just a little bit confused on that. I'm going to look into that closer and find out which one I need. These are 80s heads, mid 80s, 305 heads. So I want to make sure I put the right gasket in there. And I used the copper. You can actually see the copper coated gasket, shim steel gasket in there. I don't know. We'll see if it holds. If it does, great. If not, then hey, tear it down and fix that shit up. All right, I'm out.